Hey guys, what's going on? It's Meshi with Path to Wellness with Meshi. I'm so glad that you are here and I hope that you're enjoying this beautiful Thursday or Friday, whatever day that you're actually watching this video. Welcome. I'm so glad that you made it here. So in today's video, we are chatting about the moon cycles once again. If you haven't had a chance to watch my previous video that had to do with setting new intentions and working with the cycles of the moon, I will just link that down in the description. But in today's video, we are talking about the moon once again, and we are setting up our ritual for the full moon. In this week, we actually have the full moon happening this Friday. So I wanted to release this video for you guys so that you actually have some time to set up and then you know sort of what to expect. But all you need to know, if you're brand new to living in a cyclic way, if you're brand new to living, you know, with the cycles, I will be giving you some information about what is really cyclic living, why you should really pay attention to the moon cycles, how it really helps you, and then how we can actually set up rituals around the moon cycles and how that would benefit you. Especially if you have stress, anxiety, you get overwhelmed easily, this would be a perfect way to really incorporate that into your wellness routine, and I will explain exactly why. Quick reminder, if you are brand new here, then you can hit the subscribe button if you feel so moved, if you enjoy this video. You can also hit the notification bell so that you get continual updates every single time I release the video. And because in this channel, we go a little bit into we touch on eco living and green beauty. We'll do some tutorials. We also talk about bullet journaling and art therapy. We'll create some tutorials around that as well. And we're also going to be talking about some mindfulness practices, and really ultimately I'm trying to provide you with as much information as possible so that you feel empowered to make your own choices in your own wellness journey. So if you wanted to know sort of what gets released and when, and what were the videos that you have missed, I do have a weekly roundup email that I send out every Sunday because I release videos on Tuesday, Thursday, and Saturday. So Sundays, I usually send out to my email community an email that sort of recaps what you may have missed during the week, what the best takeaways were. I also share with them some exclusive offers if there are any early bird or sneak peek previews of some of my online services, online products that will be releasing early next year. You'll get the full schedule of what's going to be coming up in the following week, so that if you're looking for a specific type of video, like in particular like this one, we're talking about spirituality, then you make sure that you don't miss it. So if you wanted to sign up for it, it's completely complimentary. I left the link down in the description so you can sign up. Okay, first, before we even begin the video, I would love to know if you have been following the moon and if you have a current moon cycle ritual or full moon ritual. And if you do, is that much different than mine? And what are some of the crystals that you are using in your own full moon ritual? I would love to know, so just comment below. And without further ado, let's get started with the video. So first of all, let's talk about the moon first off, and why would it really matter that we follow the moon? How is that much different than us following the sun? And the reason why it matters is because when you're understanding that things work in cycles, then things just sort of shift and you can become a little bit more mindful and you can become a little bit more in tune with your own body on how you are in relation to not only the moon, but also like how you are in relation to the cycles. So the cycles as in, there are cycles when it comes to seasons, there are cycles when it comes to months, obviously the way that we're measuring time, and then there's your own personal internal cycle, which is your menstrual cycle, and then they all sort of relate to the cycles of the moon. So the cycles of the moon goes through 8 different cycles, and the full moon represents the most strongest, fullest manifestation of that particular cycle that we're in. I know I said cycle like 20 times, I get it. But the main reason why you would care is because at each cycle, it represents, like each phase of the moon represents a give or a take. So then that allows you to sync your own activities and sync when you're pushing and when you're reserving your energy and you're resting. And that kind of goes counterproductive or counterintuitive to how our society is sort of training us to really be. So if you are able to tune in and be in tune with the moon, then you will find that you're actually going to be working less and manifesting more. Now, this matters most when you are already semi into your sort of understanding that, okay, the moon goes through different cycles. The full moon represents the full manifestation of what my initial intentions were. But then, okay, then what do I do with that? So first off, we need to kind of go back to the very beginning of this moon cycle when we were looking at the new moon. So at the new moon, we went through cleansing our crystals, and then we gave those crystals a specific job. I will link the video down in the description, and probably also I'll attach it into the card so that you can kind of take a look at exactly what I'm talking about. But basically, the main thing that you need to understand about the full moon is that you're able to see everything because the moon is the brightest at this stage of the moon cycle. So that means that that allows you to not only tune in, but that this is also the time when we can shed, reflect, and let go. Here's what we're going to do today. So that now when we sort of understand, like, okay, I think I understand I need to work cyclically in order for me to be able to create and shift some changes and create and manifest some changes in my life. So that works. Then what? How do I do all of this? What will I need? How will all of this work? So basically, it's very simple, and honestly, you can make it as simple or as complicated as you want. You can do this ritual alone, or you can also do this with your soul sisters. You can do this with your friends when you create like a full ritual and you can actually take time to connect and to reflect. It's whatever suits you. This is the beautiful part about it, that nobody can really come and tell you exactly how, because really it's sort of like saying what is the best crystal for you to use. And honestly, if you learn how to tune in, then the answer will arise. And unfortunately, my answer is going to be this vague, because even though I will show you what works for me, that works for me personally, because I've created it, because I'm naturally drawn to certain elements. I'm naturally drawn to certain crystals that give me exactly what I'm looking for, which also means that my intention is going to be totally different than what your intention is going to be. As long as you understand what intentions are, how to set them, and how to check in, and how to check in to see what's working and what's not working, I think that that's really ultimately all you need to know. The rest, and the beautiful part about it is that the rest is up to you, so that you can sort of navigate through the unknown and really just be excited about, see what's coming up and see how you need to adjust. I think that sometimes we don't spend enough time to really check in and to see sort of where we need to make adjustments and how to be flexible and moldable into something that's new, that's supposed to be. Maybe sometimes you just need a little shift so that you're in full alignment with being able to manifest exactly what you need. And it's going to be something different for each of you. So my hope here is that while I show my own personal ritual, but really I hope from the bottom of my heart that it will just inspire you to just at least get started and at least start opening up your perception of why you should. So today we're going to be checking in to see how we've been doing, what our initial intentions were for the month. And basically some of the things that you will need is you will need your crystals. You will obviously need a space, a quiet space where you're not going to be interrupted, so you can sit down and meditate. You're going to need your journal and a pen. And you will also need matches. I know. So you want to do this away from your children, if possible. You will need a piece of paper and some matches, because what we're going to do is we're going to sit down in a quiet meditation space and we're going to reflect and we're going to check what our initial intentions were, and then we're going to write down anything and everything that has been holding us back, that is now at the peak point where it's completely ready to be released. Because ideally, what we want is not only to be super crystal clear of what we want to manifest, whether that we're looking at that in whether we're checking in your physical health, in your spiritual well-being, in your business, in your relationships, in your friendships, whatever the case may be, whatever it is that your heart desires, that you're working towards and you're taking active steps towards it. Sometimes we need to have that reflection point when we're checking in, see how we're doing, see what needs to shift, what's ready to let go of because we've already outgrown it and it's good to go and you can toss it to the curb, so that we just speed up that process. It's sort of like when you get a coach and then they just speed up that process, that manifestation process, that much faster. So this is exactly what we're going to do today. So now that I've told you the full story about the full moon, and we are ready to get started with a ritual. And don't worry, I will walk you through this, and I will be leaving you not only some music, but I will also give you some prompts, some guides that I think that will truly serve you, so that you don't feel so alone. You don't feel like you have to figure this out by yourself. Because I want to give you all the support so that you know that you and me are in this together. And I'm here and guiding you all throughout the entire thing, because really, we are all the same. At the end of the day, what we want is ultimately just be more in sync with nature, so that we can ultimately manifest and bring out a version of us that is really here to serve, that is really here to bring out the best version of ourselves. So if that sounds good to you, then just let's hop on over to my meditation space and let's get started. Okay, so some of the items that you will actually need for this ritual is you'll need a notebook, as well as a pen, and a couple of tumble stones that you can either use during your meditation or to set it up at your altar. I also have a match. I don't have a match. I have a lighter and a roll-on essential oil, as well as a bottle of essential oil that you can use for grounding. And the incense are back, you guys. I brought it back because I find it super calming. And moving on to crystals. So here I have a couple of selenite ones, as well as a sacred wood, just to sort of help open up those channels. And also the selenite ones actually help amplify the energies of some of the other crystals as well. And then we also have from the new moon my little altar. Now to get started, I usually just like to light up my incense so that we can kind of set the mood. I also have my notebook and pen along with my essential oils right next to me. And then after that, I like to just set up some music and, well, first of all, roll on the essential oils. These have like rose and jasmine. It smells absolutely beautiful. And it just helps me tune in more. So once I'm kind of situated, then I like to set up the two wands. Sometimes I just end up hanging on to them. In this case, I just kind of set it up so that they help amplify the energies of some of the other crystals that I have around. And really, I just bring my attention to the breath, and I try to just do a self check-in and really just calm the mind. Usually at this point, I play some guided meditations or some relaxing meditation music. Other times I just like to stay in silence because I really want to do some check-ins. And then here's where the little tumbled pieces of crystals come in, where they actually help me channel and get grounded some more. So at this point, once you've done your own check-in and you have settled into the space and you're feeling comfortable, some of the questions that you can ponder is, and you can end up writing down, is what is not serving you? And you have to be specific. What will also happen if you get what you really wanted? And who do you need to be in order to manifest your intention fully? And after a few minutes of meditation, just grab your piece of paper or your journal and your pen and just write down really any visualizations that have come up that you've seen, and really see sort of what it is that you truly want to manifest, what it is that you're really working towards at this point, and what is really holding you back at this moment. Who do you need to become, and who else is able to help you? Anything and everything, and the more detailed, the better it is at this point. As much detail or as little detail as you want to add. Once you're finished, rip the paper out, because we are going to burn it. So obviously make sure that you do have just a fireproof way that you can sort of discard it. You can, at this point, you can light up your Palo Santo wood, but I basically just wrap up this piece of paper of all of everything that is really ready to leave, ready to let go of, ready to be shed. We're literally going to be just lighting up the piece of paper and burning it so it can just become ashes and be left behind, because it's one of those things that is just ready to be left behind. It becomes intoxicating as you watch. This is where the ritual really truly happens. As you watch the smoke, just let it just pass out into the nothingness, really. Thank you so much for taking the time to join me in this video. I so appreciate this. I hope that you enjoy this full moon ritual. I hope that you had as much fun as I have in creating it, and I wanted to release this for you guys early because full moon is actually coming up this Friday, so that you have some time to set everything up and get ready for it. And I hope that you have yourself a wonderful day. If you enjoyed this video, please give it a big thumbs up and subscribe. You can also hit the notification bell so you get notified every time I release a new video. And in this channel, if you are brand new, I release a video every Tuesday, Thursday, and Saturday. And if you're wondering, some of the topics that I dive into is something like such as this, when we dive a little bit into spiritual practices and rituals. We talk a little bit about green beauty, how to reduce your toxic load in eco living. We're really working on creating this holistically, beautifully driven, intentional lifestyle. And I talk to you about bullet journaling, some art therapy, mindfulness and meditation practices, and how that really benefits you when you have stress, anxiety, overwhelm, all of that good stuff. So if that sounds good to you and you're wondering about my release schedule of when I'm going to be releasing what on this channel, what you can do is I have started to release on a weekly basis. Because I release a video on Tuesday, Thursday, and Saturday, on Sunday I usually send out a weekly recap email that sort of sums up not only what the best takeaways were from each of my videos for the previous week, but I also give you the full schedule of what's coming up in the next week so that you don't miss a video. And this is this place where I also share any exclusive offers, if there are any behind the scenes, some bloopers. So it is very exciting, and if you wanted to get on that, then you can just sign up for it in the link below. It's completely free and it's complimentary, and it's there for you when you need it. I hope you enjoyed today's video, and just keep seeking wellness seekers, and I will see you again in my next one. Bye.
I don't know why I clapped. Enjoy this new moon. What's with your hair again? Today's message is... Can you see it? Beep, beep. You are the bomb diggity. Basically, we're going to have like the entire kitchen sink brought here whenever you were setting up for meditation. It's going to be so great. Yeah, I still have the phone too. Okay, great. Now we're just gonna play some Warcraft. I have to be honest with you, at this point, if you're still writing something, you might as well just rip it out, because it's gonna get wild up in here. That's the truth. That's no ritual. You're basically just gonna be burning a whole bunch of things. It's gonna be so fun. Watch. Also, please do not show this to anybody, especially your children, because then they're going to think that this is socially acceptable. But anyway, so yeah, just wrap up the paper. You already put like your hate letter on paper. I don't even know what, like, maybe you just don't like your boss. Who knows? Maybe it's the neighbor's apple pie that just tasted horrible and you never told them. Who knows? Who knows? Whatever. It's already on paper. You already have the lighter. We're fully invested at this point. We're burning it. Oh yeah, and one more thing. Open up the windows. You definitely don't want any evidence, okay? Okay, bye!